to St. Louis now.
Oh no! Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today we'll take a look at a replay in the Polish destroyer at Tier 7, Blyskawica, something like that. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, but this replay is provided by Bad Panda 15. Yes, thank you so much, Bad Panda. This kind player decided to gift me this ship, so excellent. Thank you very much. It is a great destroyer at Tier 7, as I'm sure anyone who has one knows. But before we get too far into the replay, let's talk about, actually before we talk about that, I forgot to put on the premium consumable. I was excited to play the ship. I think this is like the third battle in the ship, so that's why. Anyway, let's talk about the new patch in the game. Yes, a new patch came out today, September 7th. Excellent. Really good patch overall. I mean, the armor view, right? The armor view is actually really great to be able to visualize this and see this. You know, it really goes along with a whole lot of what I've already known, but it is great to actually have the visualization of, you know, where the weak spots are on the armor, whether a ship has a torpedo bulge, how much does that torpedo bulge add, you know, what is the forward-facing armor of a ship, like if you look at it, you know, right from the forward view, all that lovely stuff. So it's great to be able to see that, and we're actually going to get a video out on that sometime in the next few days, just, you know, an overall dedicated video. We'll take a look at some different ships, talk about the different ships. Some of them are really interesting. I was looking at a few of them, some noteworthy ones, or I don't know what ship it was on, but they had the citadel bottom to it. I think it was actually the Nuremberg that had the citadel bottom, and I was thinking, you know, does that make sense with the citadel bottom as to why the Nuremberg is so easy to citadel? Because even if your shells happen to miss the citadel when they fire in, if they go through the bottom of the ship, they'll still hit that citadel bottom and, you know, do massive amounts of damage. Is that one of the reasons, for example? Another cool thing that they've added, this wasn't added in the patch, but it came out with the, well, I guess it was sort of added with the patch, but it's the birthday event that Wargaming has. Coincidentally, my birthday is also right around the same day, September 10th for myself, and I think Wargaming is a little later than that, but still, interesting. But they added these secret achievements that you get in-game. So they're secret because we don't know what we need to do in order to achieve these achievements. But what Wargaming is doing is they're encouraging social media, YouTube, for example, you know, for people to go and get a look at, or, you know, figure out and share how they achieve these achievements and what you may need to do to actually get these achievements, because there are some pretty great achievements, or actually rewards for the achievements going on right now. So a lot of great flags, million credits, for example. So some of the achievements here, I've already gotten myself quite a few. I believe I know how I got most of them, so I'll share that with you. Festive Soup. I did that while I was in a CV. I was in the Hear You, and I'm not sure what I did, but I got it. I think it has something to do with torpedoes and the amount of torpedo hits you're hitting maybe on different people. Anyway, next one was Run Admiral Run. I also got this in the same battle in a CV, and I think that this had something to do with moving around the map and my carrier coming under fire potentially. Not 100% sure, but that's what I think. What's the other one I got in that battle? Ooh, A Shot in the Dark. This has something to do with shooting down airplanes. I think it's shooting down airplanes with another airplane, maybe, or maybe even shooting down an airplane squadron. But I got those three all in the same battle while I was in a carrier. So Festive Suit, Run Admiral Run, and A Shot in the Dark. Those seem to be the easiest to get when you're in a carrier. Maybe it's, you know, well, probably it's a requirement. Be in a carrier if you want those three, which was pretty great. Another nice one was Big Roll. I got Big Roll. Now this anyone is going to get. My understanding on Big Roll is all you have to simply do is earn X amount of credits in the game, you know, while playing the game. And I think it's 1,000,000 credits you need to earn in order to get this get this achievement. And the reward for this achievement is actually a million credits. So that's great, and it's a million credits gross, right? So this is gross, meaning before any of your repair costs or anything like that is taken off. Basically, the credit, when you see your victory or defeat screen, the credits you earned, that number is being added. Once that number gets to a million, you get this achievement, as I understand it. Next one here is Q Jumper. Q Jumper, I'm pretty sure you get after you play your first battle. Any battle, I'm pretty sure you're going to get Q Jumper. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's how it's going to go. It doesn't have anything to do with jumping between co-op and PvP, because I got Q Jumper my first battle. This is actually the first battle I played today that we're looking at here in the Bliss. I played the first battle and got it at the end of this battle, so play one battle and get that. Maybe it's a victory, I don't know. The last one that I got was Fire Show. Fire Show. So this, I think, has something to do with main battery hits. Get a certain number of main battery hits in one battle, and I think you're going to earn this. That, or it's something to do with fire, right? Do a certain number of fires, set a certain number of fires in one battle and get this. It's one of those two, not 100% sure, but I managed to get myself those ones so far, and that's how I believe I got them. Now, obviously, there's going to be other sources for you guys to check out as well. The forums, I would recommend checking out the forums, because I would not be surprised if there's already quite a number of threads going on in the forums about how to earn the different achievements here, and it's definitely worth it. I mean, free million credits, come on. I want that, because I'm over halfway to the guys now at this time, and I have more than enough credits to actually purchase the guys now straight out, so that's pretty great. Anyway, getting into the replay, you can see we are on north, and is this north? Yes, maybe, we'll say north, and in the Bliss, more importantly, tier 7 Polish Destroyer. This thing is amazing. Now, one of the things, now, because, you know, I haven't actually played it that much, my captain doesn't have Concealment Expert on her yet, so there's that. But once I get Concealment Expert on her and Demolition Expert, this thing will really be something else. But it's still pretty decent right now. The biggest thing that she's got going for her is that it's a fine line, but you can manage to invisify her without any sort of smoke, right? Just being at basically the maximum range of your guns, you're going to be able to fire at enemy ships and they're not going to be able to see you. And this is really good. She's a typical I guess gunboat destroyer, in that you do really want to focus on your main guns. It's all about firing your main guns and really pestering enemies with them, much like you would do in an American battleship, or sorry, American destroyer or a Russian destroyer, right? It's about, you know, just setting fires, doing damage over time to people, and really just trying to get them down and gone. You know, ideally as well, you'd be picking off some of the weaker enemies as well as you see them coming in. The Bliss as well is incredibly quick. I think the top speed on her, 37, 38 knots, something like that. It's really good. I mean, she's very quick, which is fantastic, because you can really move around the battlefield a whole lot easier. Obviously, you know, you're in destroyers, and it's sort of a trait of theirs, but amongst the other destroyers that we have at tier 7, I mean, she definitely is definitely up there in terms of being very fast. The guns on the Bliss are amazing. Obviously, you have 4 turrets, I believe. Yes, 4 turrets. 2 turrets on the front, 2 turrets on the bow. You have 3 guns on the front of your ship. So you have 1 turret with a single gun, and then you have a second turret which is a dual-mounted cannon turret, and then you have these dual-mounted turrets as well on the stern of the ship, which is great. The gun caliber themselves, I believe, is 130 millimeters, which means that you definitely do want to get you know, all of your bonuses to increase the range, the firing speed, and the turret traverse on this ship to really, you know, max out the guns, because they're going to do a lot of damage for you, and they will be very impressive. Unfortunately, though, obviously Wargaming is discontinuing the Bliss for now, I suppose, right? She's being replaced. So there's that, and that's why Bad Panda, well, one of the 2 reasons Bad Panda got it for me, because, you know, he said couldn't go on in the game without having at least tried out this ship. Plus, it was an early birthday gift, so thank you very much once again. Another thing the Bliss has going for her, obviously, is the torpedoes. Torpedoes are not too shabby. You get 2 launchers, 3 torpedoes in each tube, and they go 8 kilometers. So they're definitely have their uses, right? It's not going to be your primary armament. Not like your Japanese destroyers, you know, you shouldn't try to be mounting and doing stealth torpedo runs in this thing, because it's just a waste of time. But where the torpedoes do come in handy is in the situations where you might be close into some enemies, firing your guns right, trying to get away from the enemies and just firing your torpedoes to maybe make the enemy turn, or even if they're so close they're not going to be able to avoid it. Obviously, there's still the advantage, you know, ambushing. Just like I did earlier, I forget what ship I torpedoed, but ambushed the hell out of that guy. He didn't know what was going on. It was pretty great. But yeah, I mean, all around, this Bliss at tier 7 is an amazing destroyer, and I knew it was an amazing destroyer. The Bliss has been in the game for a long time. I have been killed by so many of these things over, you know, the months that this thing has been in the game. It's ridiculous, and it's always because, you know, you have those Bliss captains who would stay outside of detection range so you don't see them and just continue to fire their guns in at you and do, yeah, a little damage here and there, but more importantly, they're keeping you on fire, and you're just going to burn down. Just going to burn down. There's nothing that, you know, you're really going to be able to do, and that's why I'm very excited to you know, get the captain to demolition expert on this thing. That it's going to be amazing. Right now, I think I need 1 more skill point for the tier 3 ability. Yeah, so obviously I'll get superintendent for that, just to increase the smoke charge, because the smoke charges do come really in handy, because that's obviously going to be another advantage of the destroyers, right? You're able to pop your smoke, stay in that smoke, and fire out at the enemies without being seen. Actually, interesting note about the smoke, I've been hearing talk, I've never been too sure of it myself, but apparently if you are 9.3 knots or lower, going that speed or lower, when you deploy your smoke will actually deploy in front of you, so that you're not being you know, spotted then unspotted, like flashing in and out like that. So there's a little tidbit of information I learned. I think it was Pink Mitsubishi and Tomistama in our clan who were talking about that. But anyway, a little bit of information there for you. In terms of the battle and how it's going so far, it's not going too bad right now for us. You know, we have taken some losses here. I myself have taken some massive hits. It was really when I was over there by sea, I forget what ship it was. I think it may have been in the Thotgor. Just basically almost destroyed me. It was real close there. But managed to get myself out of that situation, regroup with the allies once again, and, you know, just maintaining cap parity right now. That's all I'm trying to do for the team. I don't really have the hit points to go in there and, you know, try and do some crazy torpedo run and absorb a few shots. That's not going to happen. But what I can do is I still do have a good enough range to be able to fire in on the enemies, limiting how often I'm being spotted, and really defend the B cap zone, right? Because we do have some enemies who are kind of eyeing down that B cap zone, so I do want to try and defend it as much as possible. So another nice thing they added in today's patch as well is the ability to listen to your own music in-game. Yes, this is amazing, because I've never listened to the wargaming music. I mean, I've listened to it before, obviously, but, you know, in World of Tanks and in ships especially, I just really don't like the music. It is just... I find it so awful. I never listen to it, but now that I can actually listen to my own music in-game, you know, this opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for me, and I'm really excited about it. And I know I have the sound muted in the clip here. It's only because, you know, bantering on in TeamSpeak and whatnot. But yeah, all you need to simply do is, if you haven't figured it out, it did take me actually a little while to figure out, but all you have to do is go into your World of Warship folder, click on the res folder. In there, if there's not already a folder called user music, just create a folder called user music, and then you go ahead and you drop your MP3 files right into that folder. I would recommend dropping the individual MP3 files as opposed to dropping albums in, because I don't think that the game is going to be able to recognize the album and then play through the album. So it's best probably just to put in the MP3 files like they say. So it's really good. The only criticism I have, just because I'm a, you know, fond lover of music and all things you know, associated with such, is that it doesn't have, like, it's not sophisticated enough to auto level all of the songs, because some of the songs that I'm putting in there, you know, might not be of the same quality. Some of them might have lower audio levels and higher audio levels, so it doesn't just, you know, level all of that shit out for you or crap out for you. So that's, you know, my only criticism there. But I'm sure changes are going to be coming and improvements are going to be coming, so this is a great first step, and I'm happy to have it in the game. Anyway, getting back into the replay. So you can see my team has been fighting it out over at C for the most part, and they're actually starting to cap it, which is fantastic. I really have been staying in the back right now. There is an enemy ship that I've been kind of eyeing down over here. We saw him firing just briefly there as well, and, you know, considering going in there and doing something, and then all of a sudden we have this Admiral Hipper coming into play here at B, and I have to do something about this player. We are going to have to provide some sort of defense for B and really I'm going to try to stay outside of my firing, my detectability range while I'm firing. It's just hard because the Admiral Hipper's sailing straight at me, and really didn't expect the player to be this close to me, but whatever. We're going to dodge and weave here. That's another new thing. I think this player is sporting it off. But we do have new permanent camouflage for some of the ships in game now as well. I personally have never bought any of these permanent camouflages. I see it as being a total waste of gold. For me anyway, because the way I use my gold is I purchase port slots with it and I purchase premium time with it. That's basically about it. There have been instances where, you know, I completely derped out and screwed up the skilling of a captain, for example, the Hindenburg, apparently. And, you know, went back and spent the gold to replenish or to retrain that person. But other than that, that's really all I use my gold for. So I'm not really too interested in the permanent camouflages, but it's cool that it's there. At least, you know, the ships look a little different, which is great. Obviously, as well, we're going to start seeing some of the British cruisers in game as well. That was discussed in the patch notes, and it was also shared in the patch notes that the British cruisers will have smoke and torpedo launchers, and the torpedo launchers will have the ability to fire single torpedoes at a time. So that should be really interesting to see how that, you know, works out, and whether it makes its way through, you know, past the testing and actually onto the live server. Should be something that is going to be fairly interesting, and maybe even bring new dynamic into the game. Yeah. So anyway, still duking it out with the Admiral Hipper here. You can see somehow and miraculously I'm still alive, and managing to prevent the cap of B, right? And this is really all I can hope to do, well, other than set fire to the player, obviously. But, you know, if I'm not setting fires to the player, at the very least, I'm going to be able to prevent the capture of the B point, right? And hopefully some of my allies will swing around, or maybe even just stall the capture of this point long enough for some of my allies to get into D and start capping D. Nothing says we have to keep B specifically, but we do at least have to maintain cap parity, right? The battle isn't too close. I mean, we are clearly going to win, but still, we don't want to, you know, just screw it all up here right at the end of the game. I've got some shots coming in. Whew, that was close. I was really concerned that I was going to die, and yeah, wasn't paying attention at all to the ship over there, to the enemy ship over there, and did manage to get myself killed, which kind of sucks. But still, no real complaints about the Bliss here whatsoever. Fantastic destroyer, and I'm really glad that I've actually was able to play her, because you know, in terms of destroyer play, because we haven't seen a lot of destroyer play on the channel, I do have all of the Japanese destroyers basically up to the Shimakaze. It's just they have been nerfed so hard recently, and they continue to be nerfed, that it's just the fun for me has been taken out of them, and I haven't been playing them a whole lot. If I play a Japanese destroyer, it's my Minakaze or my Kamikaze R, really. I haven't played, I can't tell you the last time I played a battle in the Hatsuharu. I did recently play a battle in the Fubuki, which didn't go too bad. The Kagero I haven't touched in a long time, and the Shimakaze I stopped after, if you recall, I was doing experiments with the Shimakaze and the new torpedoes to figure out what was going, or to figure out what would be the best combination. Well, the results of that is that they all suck. Yeah, so I just stopped playing the Shimakaze. I'll never sell those ships, though, just to make that clear, because, you know, I spent a lot of time to actually get the bloody ship, so I'm not going to sell the Shimakaze. I'm just going to keep her and hope that she gets better. Anyway, battle is over, and Bliss is fantastic. This destroyer, once again, you know, is a really great destroyer. If you've got one, great, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. 86,000 damage is not too bad. 302,000 credits earned, 8,800 experience as well. Keep in mind there's some credit or some experience bonuses happening this weekend here as well. And you can see, yeah, the two missions I finished. What was it? Q Jumper and I have them written down. Fire Show. So like I said, Q Jumper, play one battle. Fire Show, I'm pretty sure just get a certain number of main battery hits in one battle, and you should get that as well. Festive Soup, what was it? Shot in the Dark and Run Admiral Run seem to be carrier achievements, so you know, if you got yourself a carrier, go ahead and try a battle in that, and you'll go ahead and you should be able to get it. Big Roll, right? Just earn 1,000,000 credits, and they'll give you 1,000,000 credits. Is fantastic. And those are all the achievements that I've achieved so far today. Anyway, new port as well. We've got St. Petersburg, and it looks fantastic. Anyway, that is today's video. Do thank you guys for sticking around, watching it through. As always, leave any comments you have for me in the video comment section below. Love reading those and responding back to them. Hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you were not a subscriber. Again, thank you very much, Bad Panda, for the Hatsuwaru, and for you know, the others who have donated the Dunkirk, for example. Can't say enough about you guys. As always, folks, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.